Welcome to Henry's Off-Road Travels. In this series, join Sharon and me as our long-term plans of crossing Australia is finally realised. We have 4 months to explore and find out whether the West is really the best. We travel with friends in our new Land Cruiser 300 and fully off-road caravan. I hope you enjoy our travels as much as we do. This morning we explore the sights of Mt Gambier before we head down to the south coast. Town Hall. We're in Mt Gambier today, checking out the visitor centre, seeing what's around town. This is the Lady Nelson, HMS Lady Nelson.
Apparently, it was the first ship to sail from the west to the Bass Strait.
This is the Sunken Garden. She likes the wisteria. He said it's yum. I don't know whether it's a plant you would normally eat.
It smells yum.
It smells yummy. As we descend into the bowels of the cave, look at that. It's going to be cold down there. Gardeners haven't finished their job yet.
No.
The cave garden, or thugi, is located in the centre of Mt Gambier CBD and is adjacent to the Civic Centre. It's a limestone sinkhole surrounded by well-manicured gardens. Waterfalls can be seen here when it rains. Not so for us on this visit. Steps allow you to descend to the sinkhole and get closer to the cave. The sinkhole has been in existence since first settlement in the 1840s and a source of fresh water. It's now a state heritage area. Entry is free. And the chimes, speed chip, and a domino sign.
It is.
The Umpherston sinkhole sculpture replicating cracks that open up over time. Remnant of a latent Caroline sinkhole towards the southeast, Mount Shank. We'll have a look at that. Little Blue Lake, the sisters. The Umpherston sinkhole is another well-manicured sunken garden and a picturesque landscape. Once a cave, its limestone walls and roof have eroded and collapsed over time, and the topsoil on the floor forms a perfect environment for a sunken garden. It's an easy walk down to the floor with a pathway and a few steps to get you down. Entry is free. Behind all of those, a different view of things. It's definitely cooler in here. Just the way it's been cut as well. It's just different way of hedge trim. At the bottom are hydrangeas and tree ferns. These are your
Peace lilies.
Where are we, Sharon?
One of the sinkholes.
Thank you everyone for watching. This is a very informative video of one of the sinkholes.
Umpherston or something?
Umpherston.
Umpherston. There you go. Very pretty. Very nice.
Still very moist down there. There's water running. The waterfall up there, running down. So as the sign said, there's plenty of water leaching through it, and it holds about 50% of the water. Not good. Just for illusion. Cart to cart things around the place.
I'm sure it did cart things
Well, I
around.
can't say there's a horse and cart, because there's no horse, but there's a cart, a wagon used to cart things around the place. Is that better? And I'm never critical of her.
No, never.
You got it on video.
Never.
The Blue Lake is located on an extinct volcanic crater. The lake boasts a turquoise or vibrant cobalt blue colour in summer, or a darker steel grey colour for the rest of the year. Hopefully the blue's coming out. Had to wait for the sun to come up. It's definitely looking blue.
Yeah. Just wait a couple of minutes. The clouds to move to get the sun coming. Just make it nice and blue.
So under here is a volcanic bottom, and this is just the water that is sitting on top. The Blue Lake supplies the town of Mt Gambier with drinking water. White is limestone,
Yeah.
and black is the basalt. Sealed 2001.
Is it down to it?
About 3.7 kilometers all around.
Oh man, it lifts us up, I suppose. That's the other lake we're not going to have a look at. It's too far away, I'm not walking it. Tough luck. Tough luck for Sharon. Hoo hoo, look out.
Try how to get over to there. Because that'd be good to go over there.
Oh, the walk down.
Is what I'm thinking.
At least this isn't going to be as bad as going up. Sharon decided to do the Leg of Mutton walk trail whilst I drove the car to Valley Lake.
Very blue, very green, very pretty. It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. Walking down to Valley Lake, I think it's called.
To commemorate the naming of the mountain by Lieutenant James Grant. Local dolomite stone was delivered to the Devil's Punch Bowl area, which is just below us. Sledge drawn by 4 horses then carried the stone to the tower site. Whew. No kidding, this hill was a 60-degree incline for about 200 metres. Those horses would have earned their keep bringing up dolomite stones. Mt Gambier. Caravan park's just here. Trees just snapped off with winds. Those yellow patches, for those unfamiliar, is canola. And these little bits here, up the front here, they're probably just weeds. A bit like these weeds that you commonly find in your garden. Section here of the walk's about 60% gradient to the top. And this is it, same level, and then it drops so much further. Until you get to about that bench seat, then it's about a, I don't know, 30-40% gradient.
Like I don't know.
60, 70 maybe. Bloody steep anyway. Now I see the sign. Steep and exposed. However, if we did take the easier option, we wouldn't have got to the tower, and I'm sure the missus would have said, let's go up this way. So I would have done twice as much. Smart thinking. The southern coast was quite treacherous in the exploration era and in the provisioning of supplies, with many vessels, crew, captains and passengers meeting their fate with the sea. Many shipwrecks have had a watery grave along the Limestone Coast of South Australia. It's 38 outside and she's putting jackets on. I think it's to keep the smell out. What hope do I have? Seriously, that's why the caravan's so heavy. It's got all her jackets, her wardrobe, just to keep her warm. Miss Frosty over there. We are at the Cape Banks Lighthouse, southwestern points of South Australia. A couple of people fishing on the beach there. There's camping spots out here as well if you're interested in camping. Bit of treacherous coast here. Few shipwrecks have been encountered along the coast here with reef. Definitely the smell of seaweed rotting. So near dawn on August 6, 1859, SS Admella struck a reef about 4 kilometres northwest of here, and in a short time broke into 3 sections, losing all her lifeboats.
After numerous brave but fatal attempts to reach the shore a little over a kilometre away, 2 seamen,
Leach and Knapman, on the second day struggled through the raging surge and set off for
Port Macdonald.
The next day, telegraph from
Mt Gambier
sounded the
general alarm. For a week she lay helpless, while steamers that were attempting a rescue and people on the shore were frustrated by the elements and watched helplessly as one by one the passengers and crew dropped from exposure and exhaustion to a watery grave. The 101 passengers and crew on board, 24 including 1 woman, survived. 18 women and 14 children were amongst the 77 who perished.
That's a continuation of the story of the Admella, the first steamer carrying 113 people at a watery grave. So Friday 5th of August 1859, Admella stands off at Glenelg to allow for any leaving or joining passengers. There are none. Continues down Gulf of St Vincent on Saturday 6th of August, 5 a.m, foggy, cold, and like the teeth of a saw, Carpenters Rocks breaks Admella into 3 sections. Shocked passengers cling to the rigging in the night clothes. Others are washed away. 3 attempts were made to reach the shore failed. After 3 hours on the raft, 2 reached the shore and stumbled off for help. The next day, Monday the 8th of August, many are suffering from exposure with swollen and painful limbs. News of the disaster reached the Adelaide Post Office. On the 9th of August, rescuers arrive on the beach. Almonds distributed on the wreck, many chew strips of lead to ease their thirst. A streaming survivor dives into the sea, having drunk seawater. More die quietly during the night, rolling off the deck or dropping from the rigging. As you can see with that map there, 3 of the 4 shipwrecks in the area occurred prior to 1951, Corio, Admella and Pelican. On Wednesday the 10th, people died throughout the day. The steamer Corio arrives. On Thursday the 11th, rescue attempts by the shore party and Corio's pilot boat fail. More die of cold and starvation, including 2 of the 3 remaining women. More rescuers arrive on the beach, swelling the number to over 100. Friday the 12th of August, sea mountainous. Corio departs for more coal. The Ant and the Ladybird arrive, towing the Portland lifeboat and the whaleboat. Survivors described as looking like seals perched on a rock, almost beyond caring and too weak to assist in the first rescue attempt. On Saturday the 13th, which is a week later, thoughts of cannibalism, thoughts of suicide, more died during the night. 2 rescue boats from shore reach Admella. A line is thrown and 4 survivors drag themselves along it. 3 survive. Boats from the waiting vessel arrive, and those remaining also find the strength to lower themselves down the line to safety. 24 survive the wreck. Bit of a drop off down here, it's probably about 15-20 metre drop. The coastline.
A tribute to Borden and Flinders. So Borden was on the French ship. He was the first one to pass here. He reckons that it was just the shore is a continuous line of dunes at the foot of which the sea breaks so heavily it would be impossible to land. He was sailing from east to west, and he actually charted the coast between here and Encounter Bay. He met Captain Matthew Flinders on the 8th of April. He was on the HMS Investigator and he was sailing west. And Flinders passed the Carpenters Carpenters at the distance of 4 miles 10 days later.
The voyages of Bourdain and Flinders completed the mapping of New Holland, which is Australia, the great southern land. Most places along the south coast are a legacy of the explorations. Flinders named the continent in his first general chart of Australia, completed in 1804. Bourdain died at Mauritius in 1803 on his homeward voyage.
Sad.
Britain and France were at war, and his discoveries and scientific achievements were largely ignored. On the return of the French expedition, the remarkable collections of living plants and animals gathered under his direction were presented to the Empress Josephine for her estate at Malmaison outside of Paris. It all happened after, well, at least they passed this way. Pelican Point. The residential housing right on the water's edge.
And then out there you go, all the waves.
A little further east of Pelican Point. Actually, that is Pelican Point there. A lot more calmer, very shallow, and not as smelly either because there's no weed. Pelican Point. There's a couple of pelicans out here. We are at the coastal community, fishing community, Blackfellows Caves. And what's the history behind that?
Aboriginal people who lived in the area at the time, and they stole the
Sheep
and the cattle from the farmers, obviously for food. And obviously they took them back to the caves, and that's where the name originated from. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea.
So this is reef rock. Right. Can you imagine that? Being potentially a cave in there, if that's what it was. The all exposed reef at one stage, limestone. Whether these used to be blowholes. Potentially could have been, if the water level gets high enough. There's actually, that's potentially a cave as well over here. There is a very strong chance nobody's going to go in there, but that has been hollowed out. Goes probably in about 20 metres. Definitely could have been one of those places where you can hide from a lot of people if they don't know the coastal environment well. At the stakeout, very plush. Sharon's got a fire going, so they'll keep her warm for a while. The wine cellar over there, so she'll be happy for throughout the night. We do have to vacate by 7:30 though. She's complaining about the bottles of wine being up to $400. Chances are we won't be staying for too long. It'd be too expensive for us. But apparently it comes with high ratings. We'll see how that plays out. Smile. The chicken. She's got half a chicken.